everyone, I'm Jay Reynolds, and this is Sax 101, Lesson 2, where we are going to learn a few more notes. In this B-flat lesson for tenor and soprano, whenever it's time to play, you'll see me switch to this tenor so that our notes match. Otherwise, you'll see me with an alto sax. In our last lesson, we learned the fingering for B, which is just left index finger down. So the new note we're going to learn is A. In order to play A, you keep your left index finger down like you do when you're playing B, but you add your left middle finger. So the first two fingers on your left hand are down. All right, now that we know the fingering for A, let's play a long tone. Remember, keep your embouchure as steady as possible and play with constant pressure from your diaphragm. And play with good airflow, which means breathe in right before you play and exhale like you're sighing. Now let's play an exercise that incorporates both the B and the A. We're going to play B for 4 beats, then A for 4 beats, then B for 4 beats, then we're going to rest for 4 beats, which means 4 beats of silence. Then we'll do the inverse, A for 4, B for 4, A for 4, rest for 4. Then we're going to do the entire thing over again. While we're playing, you'll see the musical notation up on the screen. If you don't know how to read music yet, don't worry, we're going to cover that later in this lesson. For now, just remember that B's the middle line and A's the line below it. All right, next note. The next note is G. To play G, you put down the two fingers that you had down when you were playing A, but you add your ring finger. Let's do a long tone on G. So now we know 3 notes: B, A, and G. The last note we're going to learn today is C. You play C with the middle finger on your left hand and no other keys. C can be a little trickier than the other notes we've learned thus far, especially if you're going from B to C, because you're going back and forth between 2 different fingers. So let's do an exercise that focuses on that. We'll play B for 4 counts, then C for 4 counts, and we're just going to go back and forth between those 2 notes. We'll rest for 4 counts in the 8th bar, so we'll take a bar off halfway through. Again, the notation for the exercise is going to be on the screen while you're playing. Like last time, B's the middle line, but this time, C's the note above the middle line. Those exercises, plus a few more, are on this YouTube channel in the exercises section. You'll notice that when you go to play them, just like in this lesson, the musical notation is shown up on screen, which brings us to our next topic. In Lesson 1, when we learned the fingering for B, this flashed up on screen. That's musical notation, and for this particular piece of musical notation, there are 3 components: the staff, the clef, and the note. The staff is just 5 lines, which don't mean anything by themselves until you add the clef. The lines and spaces now represent different notes depending upon which clef you use. The good news here is that sax music always uses the same clef. The lines from bottom to top are E, G, B, D, and F, which spells Egbedef, which isn't a word. But if you want to remember the names of the lines from bottom to top, just remember that every good band draws fans. The spaces are F, A, C, and E, which spells an Italian word, face, which means someone who believes everything they see on the internet. If you're not familiar with Italian, those letters could spell face, I guess. So that takes care of notes. Now we have to figure out rhythm. The way notes are counted is determined by the time signature. That's 2 numbers, the number of beats in a measure and what type of note is equal to 1 beat. In all the exercises to this point, and in most music in general, the time signature is 4/4. That's 4 beats in a measure, and a quarter note is equal to 1 beat. In the exercises we just did, when we count to 4, we're counting the 4 beats of each measure. But instead of playing 1 note on each beat, we're playing 1 note that's 4 beats long. So instead of seeing 4 quarter notes, we see 1 whole note. A whole note is a note that lasts for 4 beats, or at least it does in 4/4. Now, of course, you're not always playing. For instance, you have to take a breath every once in a while. And like quarter notes, there are quarter rests. A quarter rest is 1 entire beat of silence. You don't play for a beat. There are also whole rests. A whole rest is 4 beats of silence. So let's go back over the fingerings we've learned and look at the corresponding notes on the staff. B, A, G, and C. Congratulations, you can read notation, or you can at least read enough to get started. You now have some stuff to work on. Check out Lesson 2, Exercises 1 through 5 in the Exercises section of this YouTube channel. In each case, there will be one version of the exercise with me playing along. Ideally, you want to be able to do those exercises without me playing along, but it doesn't hurt to have a reference. Also, there are different versions of each exercise at different tempos. Start with the slower ones and work your way up to the faster ones as you get more comfortable. So get after it. If you want to get deeper into anything covered in this lesson or deeper into the saxophone in general, I am available for Skype Lessons. Next lesson, we'll learn some more notes and a new rhythm. Please like and subscribe, and feel free to post any questions you have to the comments. Thanks for watching.